So my friends, we've worked on a large mass of water, glycogen, and fat. Now we work every week closer to the competition on refining this physique. Welcome to another episode of Revealing Hercules.
Alright, so me and Kurt just finished working out, and then we just finished our cardio. So, like I told you last week, we were doing 3 sessions of 20 minutes and then 3 sessions of 25 minutes. This week now starting, or this coming week I suppose, all 25-minute sessions. So that's 6 sessions, 25 minutes. And then we're gonna stick to this 25 minutes, like 6 session thing for probably a few more weeks. Then we'll move it up to that 30. That's when we really need to like start like working on our conditioning more so than just losing fat. So yeah, FYI, 25 minutes, level 9 intensity on the Stairmaster. As you can see, I'm dripped and like there's no dry spots on my clothes. That doesn't necessarily mean that you worked harder, but I just want you guys to know that it sucks for me because my clothes are completely drenched.
All right, my friends, it is workout time. I should probably shave this beard. I think it looks terrible. What do you guys think? But moving on to the workout, we are going into their hip back and by, and one of the things I've been thinking of, I put this on Instagram, but I wanted to say it in video. One of the things I've been thinking of and concentrating on when I go into my workouts is using a slightly lighter weight and squeezing as hard as I can when I get to the top of each repetition. So when I'm rowing the weight towards my back, I get to the top of it, I squeeze how it should feel, the way I should pose, I squeeze my muscle, and then I let it down as slow as I can while breathing. And this causes like my muscles on that negative, it causes it to like, it feels like I'm fighting the weight with like my rubber band muscles. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of hard to explain, but I try to rebound out of the bottom of the rep with a relatively quick pace, and then when I get to the top, I do that squeeze that I'm telling you, and then I let it down nice and slowly, trying to really think about my biceps if that's what I'm trying to work, like on a curl, or my lats as I'm coming down on a row. I really try to concentrate on feeling the muscle engorge in blood and just contract tightly, and that's been my strategy in terms of like making sure I get a good connection with my muscles, get a good pump, make sure I'm staying away from any sort of injury, and it's been working so well. Also, a lot of you guys are asking about my rep ranges. I'm doing the first 2 sets with strength, so that means I'm gonna be doing them with probably 5 to 8 repetitions, and then I'll be doing all the rest of the sets in the 10 to 16 rep range, and I'm just trying to get that solid pump. That's almost one of the most important things to me during this cut, is that I get a solid pump in the right muscles because I know that I'm using the right muscles.
Are you ready for this, man? You ready for me to detail how to pose?
Yeah.
With my limited knowledge?
I don't want to take off my shirt in here though.
Let's do side first. So we'll go this way.
Should I face you or should I do it exactly
You
the
can
same?
face me if you like, or we can face the front leg that's closest to the audience. That one goes back.
On your toe.
Yeah, and you're on your toe, which you guys can see. And then all you're gonna try to do is twist your shoulders, but try to keep your hips straight towards me. And you do it by like, you take the arm towards the audience, and that's what you use to like pull your torso away from your hips. It's super weird. So it's like,
Yeah, I see.
and so like your elbows tucked in tight, your hands on your hip, and your other arm's out. Yeah. The front one I haven't figured out yet because I don't really know where I want to put my hips and stuff, but you just put one hand on your hip. I think I'm gonna twist my hips a little bit by having one foot in front of the other one, so that my hips look smaller, and then twist my shoulders towards it. So it's kind of lying, you're kind of sideways still, but you're forward. And then you just try to like let your lats out and flex your ass.
Imagine one.
My walk is the hardest part because I originally had my front foot in front, so I'm used to doing that, but that's actually wrong. It's the other way. So I keep walking up and being all like, like an idiot. You can't do that though. You look like an idiot. It's like a straight.
So over the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, I took 2 refeed days actually. So I was going for roughly 2,800. I was going for like 3,600 calories. And most of those extra calories I'm trying to get from carbs, right? To upregulate my hormone of leptin. I told you guys about this last week, but yeah, that's what I did. I took 2 days instead of 1. I'm feeling fantastic. I really needed that. I really needed like that kind of like energy reboost because the cardio has been taken out of me. And that's what I kind of say is like, you'll feel when you need a refeed. You'll be kind of like bone tired. You'll be like sentimental
central nervous system fried. You'll feel just real terrible. You're struggling through your cardio. You'll feel bony and wiry and stuff. And that's when I need a refeed, which is usually every like 6 weeks or so. So I did it. It worked out really well. It kicked ass. The only problem is yesterday I had a whole jar of pickles, so I'm a little bit high on sodium. So today's workout was a little bit, I fatigued a little early. But other than that, refeed days helped a lot. So someone asked me to update you guys on my shoulder. If you've been around with this series for a while, you know my shoulder's had a little bit of an issue, really with like overhead stuff. I haven't been able to do a lot of like bench pressing or incline work. I've done no actual shoulder work directly, and it's simply just because something's wrong with my shoulder. I don't have the money to go get like an MRI or anything like that, but I'm assuming it's something to do with either the supraspinatus, my rotator cuff, or my labrum. Either way, I've just been very light on it. I've been taking shoulders out. I've been doing all exercises below the shoulders when it comes to like presses or rows and stuff. But actually, things have been getting a lot better. I've been really excited that I've been able to use a lot of the different chest machines that I haven't been able to use before, simply because my shoulder's feeling a lot better. When I'm doing flies and whatnot, my range of motion is now a lot deeper, a lot farther, whereas before I had to stop a little early on the range of motion so that I wouldn't be tweaking my shoulder. Now I can do like full range of motion and whatnot. I haven't like went and done dumbbell pressing or barbell benching because like I don't want to push it and like, you know, push my luck with it, but I feel really solid about being able to still work all the muscles just in kind of like abbreviated ways. And hopefully as we get past the competition and whatnot, the injury like heals up even more, and then I'm able to just get back to how I used to train, just status quo.
I just came out the massage parlor. It was amazing. I feel 1,000 times better. I want to let you guys know that I'm going to the massage place this week, but also I wanted to do a little experiment for myself. I took a video of myself before I went to the massage, and I'm gonna take a video of myself after I get home, and I'm gonna see if there's any difference, because the point of massages, for me at least, are to increase like blood circulation throughout the whole body, release knots, and then also like, you know, strip the fascia and release it and whatnot to see if it can help develop the muscles more. That's really the point here. Although it does feel really good, and it's good for my scoliosis, so that's just kind of a plus.
Another week comes to an end, my friends, and this week I am feeling pretty good. Like, so I'd say this week, you like how that voice just changed to a regular voice inflection, but I feel really good about this week in terms of it just being very standard what should happen. Like, nothing crazy happened, you know, in a really positive way, nothing negative really bad happened. I didn't like injure myself, I didn't like lose too much weight or not lose weight or whatever. This week was exactly what I want every week to be until competition. It was all routine in terms of my lifting, in terms of my diet, everything. It just felt really good. I generally slept really well this whole week, so I'm really happy about this, and I really want it to continue for the next couple of weeks. So I gotta make sure that I keep the parameters right for that to happen, right? This week I've been eating 2,800 calories, and I've been feeling really good about that number. I don't think we're gonna necessarily go too much lower. Of course, as we get closer to competition, it is going to go lower, but this week, it's not gonna go lower at all. In fact, it might even go up a slight bit. It might even go to 2,850 or maybe 2,900. I am increasing my cardio, as you guys heard, but also just in general, I feel like my body can use even more calories than the 2,800 calories because we're still dropping weight. And you know, I'm feeling like I get a little bit depleted a little bit earlier than I should within the week and whatnot. So yeah, I don't really know exactly what we're gonna do yet, but maybe 2,800 to maybe 2,900 calories. Of course, I'll update you guys next week. As far as my physique goes, I'm actually pretty surprised. Like, I've cut like 1,000,000 times, right? So I know how my body works. I drop that water weight, I drop the glycogen and whatnot, so I get those cuts relatively fast. But this week, or this competition, this cut, I feel like I've been losing my fat pretty fast. Like, I've seen my cuts come up pretty quick. My abs are now well defined all the way down to the bottom 8, or the last 2, I suppose. And they're very deeply ridged, which is something that usually doesn't happen until we're really close to competition, maybe like 5-6 weeks out. And currently we're like 10 weeks out or so. I'm starting to get the very deep cuts in my chest. If you followed me before, you know that my chest, it cuts sideways, like up and down, but then it also cuts through the chest. So I have an upper and bottom like split, I suppose.
And none of this is like me bragging or whatever about how shredded I am. The point of all this is these are landmarks that I look at my body to see what body fat I am and what progression I'm at. And it's something you should do too when you cut. You should see like how many weeks in it took you until you started to see your face get leaner, until you saw your first bicep vein, until you saw your chest get leaner, until you saw this certain line on your leg, until things like that. Landmarks can really help when you're dieting because they really kind of define where you are rather than standing on a scale or getting your like body fat taken, which can always be up or down or whatever. This way you visually can see exactly how you're looking. And I'm really excited about my progression. I feel a lot farther than I should be right now. So that's why I'm saying we can kind of play a little higher in the calories. Other than that, I'm working on my posing all the time. I'm stretching to see if I can increase the range of motion in my poses. That's definitely going to be the worst part of my performance. I mean, my physique is definitely going to outshine my posing, and I understand that, but I'm going to do everything I can to make that a little less farther apart. Maybe my posing can come up a little bit and get a little better before the competition, but we will see. Anyways, guys, I know that you want to see a lot of stuff in these episodes, so please let me know what you want to see in next week's episode. The shoulder thing this week was definitely a suggestion from somebody in the comments below, so thank you guys for that. If you have something you want to see in next week's episode, make sure you leave it in the comments below. Make sure you thumbs us up if you haven't already. Subscribe if you're not subscribed to the channel, and hopefully next week I show you a whole new set of progression in another episode of Revealing Hercules.